morning, everybody. Auronnj here with another War of the Visions video, and today we are going to do our character review for 2B, the near collaboration unit that I know a bunch of you got, a bunch of you have been using with success. I'm going to show you the ways I like to use her today, give her some grades on how she performs, hopefully help some people out. So let's get to it right now. Okay, let's do a little housekeeping. If you want to support the channel and use Amazon coins, please consider using my Amazon coin affiliate link located down in the description. Awesome way to support the channel. It's actually the best way to buy Visior, and it costs you no more and just helps support me. So it's kind of a win-win. Thank you to everybody who's been doing that. Let's talk about our girl. Okay. Now, on the screen, you see 2B's stats as raw as I can get them. Now, yes, I still have my guild buffs on, and there's still like the mastery level to take into consideration. But these are like as base as I can get her stats. She has no support abilities equipped or anything. And we're going to be looking at 2B a little differently than when we looked at somebody like King Mont, right? King Mont was a tank, so when you're judging his abilities, you're going to judge him based on, I want him to go take a bunch of damage, and any damage that he does is just a bonus. 2B really serves two different roles. That wasn't even kind of a pun, but it's sort of, anyway. She is both a high damage dealing bruiser when built one way, and a full-on evade unit when built another way, and so we're going to keep both of those things in mind as we talk about her. Now, let's start with HP. 3578, this is really nice. That is a lot of base HP, again, modified by nothing. That's really going to help Bruiser 2B out a lot, and it's enough HP to help evade 2B survive 1 or 2 hits if she fails to dodge something. 66 agility, let's move there next. That makes her nice and fast. Not the fastest unit in the game, but her speed is definitely high enough that 1, she's not going to get lapped by newer units as a bruiser, and 2, as an evasion unit, that agility really going to help her dodge, because agility is one of the main statistics that evasion uses in its calculation, right? Okay, her dexterity at 220, I wouldn't mind seeing that a little bit higher, but it's still fine, going to help her hit, going to help her crit some, and her luck, look at that, 296 luck. Really like this stat. Again, going to help Evasion 2B dodge a lot. And luck is a very, very important stat for Evasion 2B and any evasion unit, really. So having that 296 luck, really like that. Her move and jump is base 3-2. Actually, that's better than normal. Most units are 3-1. Her having 3-2 is really going to help her navigate terrain, all that kind of stuff. Okay. 6 defense, 2 spirit, that's mostly from like the buffs and stuff, disregard that. And then her attack at 564 base is pretty nice. It's not insane, but it's good. And this girl does enough damage. So looking at her stats, considering that we want her to be a high damage bruiser and an evasion unit, I think this is a solid like A minus, especially for evasion. I think she's a high A. As a high damage bruiser, I think she's low A. So we'll just average that, give her an A for her stats. Okay, cool. Let's move on next, though, to her abilities, because, you know, this is really the bread and butter of units, right? Like, what do they do? And again, with 2B, you got to consider she has 2 different forms. So let's start with her main job ability, though, and talk about how these are going to affect those forms. Shockwave. It's a small damage attack that reduces healing power, which there's healing all over this game for 3 turns. It only costs 14 AP and has good range to it. This is nice. It's not great, but she will use it sometimes. And at 14 AP, it's almost like an auto attack substitute, which is great. Okay, resistance field. This is where 2B starts to really shine. Her functionality as a support, especially when she's in bruiser mode, really good. This is a slash and strike resist buff in an AoE around herself where she will teleport to a target, buff everybody around her, buff their slash and strike resist, plus nullify, immobilize, disable, and berserk for 3 turns. You guys, with King Mont running around, berserk is happening all over the place. He also disables. There's immobilize out there. This is an A+ buff. Now, if you're running Evasion 2B, you might not want this unless you're really going for some early turn manipulation stuff, but on Bruiser 2B, the skill's great. Okay, armor deployment. I like this buff on both Bruiser 2B and Evasion 2B because it gives her a physical damage barrier for 3 turns. Now, this is not as good as the Paladin shield, which is 3 hits. This thing does run out after 3 turns, but for Bruiser 2B, obviously it makes her tankier, more of a bruiser. For Evasion 2B, if she doesn't dodge something, this will help her live through 1 or 2 not dodges, which is really important with all the accuracy that's running around in the game right now. Really like this ability and really like how the character uses it. Okay, Impaler Plus deals large damage to target and piercing, so it will hit like everybody in the line, and significantly lowers slash and strike attack for 3 turns. Now, couple things here. 1, large damage, you love that, but check out the damage type. It is a piercing damage type attack. This is why getting 2B's sword is so important on her. Like, if you farmed this girl in her event, I'm going to assume that you also farmed her sword, which has both pierce attack up and slash attack up, because she will use this a lot. It's one of her favorite attacks to use from the AI. A lot of that's because there's so much slash resistance in the game. This is a way around that and really pushes her damage up. Like, what she lacks for in raw stat-based damage, she makes up for in like clever damage by getting around slash resist with piercing type attacks. So really like that move. Whirling Vortex, medium damage, slashing type with a chance to confuse for 3 turns in an AoE. I got 0 stars in a Guild Wars the other day because this move confused my whole team twice. Like, I kid you not, she dropped this on 3 of my people. All of them got confused. Then they like woke each other up with auto attacks, and then she was like, oh, no problem, confuse again. And I was like, guess I lose. Cool. My Dwayne just killed my King Mont. That's awesome. This move's really good. Like, status effects are really nice. This is an AoE confusing move that does medium damage too. And at 30 AP, that's a little steep, but great move. Okay, Shockwave Plus. This is medium damage to targets within range and a chance of inflicting slow for 3 turns. Another move she likes to use. Nice little like line-based AoE. And again, slow, really nice status effect to apply to the other team. Her main job, absolute A+. These skills are amazing, and because they are all wind-based, she really likes stats like wind attack up, which is something that like Tetrasulfid has. We'll touch on that a little bit later. Okay, let's go on to her sub-jobs. I think it's easy to say main job A. Let's look at her sub-job abilities. We'll start with her main job sub-job. This is the PvE sub-job in my opinion. Phasal Slash is a 2-hit medium damage attack with decent range. She actually teleports to him, goes 1-2. I don't use this, obviously, based on the skill level in PvP at all right now. But for PvE, this is going to be a multi-hit, slashing, wind elemental attack. If you ever need that, boom, here you go. Multi-hit attacks are great. Then Maintenance is a buff she can put on herself that restores her own healing, or raises her own healing power for 3 turns. Meh, that's okay. Okay, Samurai. This is your evasion sub-job, right? Like, there's some attacks in here like key in, cool, whatever. Meditation, there's that bravery buff. If you don't have another unit to farm bravery with, you can farm bravery with the samurai ability here. Oborozuki, medium damage in an AoE. Again, chance of inflicting slow. Pretty cool. Like, I'd probably level this if I use this more. Devotion, it's a nice little self buff. Attack critical hit rate up. AI likes to use it. And Illusion, this is why you run this sub job right here. Illusion is an evasion buff on herself and her, near friends in an AoE. If you're running Evasion 2B or any evasion unit, you're looking for evasion buffs that they can use in the fight. Boom, here it is. This was necessary for 2B to be a great evasion unit. And this alone makes this sub job worth running. And then I like Night Veil. If you're running evasion, this is a AoE attack that can inflict blind. Man, if you blind somebody and they're not throwing 100% hit attacks, they're going to miss. So blind, really, really good. I really like the Samurai sub. And then Pugilist sub, I need to do some leveling of skills here, but notice how I leveled Wicked Pummel, right? This gives 2B another damage type. So she already has slashing. You know she has piercing from her main job. If you want to fight specifically like King Mont or something like that, you can go find punching attacks in her Pugilist subjob. Wicked Pummel's my favorite one. Medium damage, AoE, Man-Eater on that thing, really nice. She also has Shifting Strike, which will warp her to a target and punch them for small damage. She's got Breathing Technique, and it's a little bit of a heal. Iron Body Stance, actually a skill I like for Bruiser 2B if you're on a really, really long map that gets her a lot of turns. Otherwise, I like the shield more than this, but this is a useful skill for a Bruiser. Spirit Breaker, medium damage, punching attack again, and lowers attack for 3 turns, and increases debuff effect according to own number of times having taken damage. So this is that one where if she's been bruisering it up, getting hit over and over again, she can go punch somebody and lower their attack by a lot if she's been hit up to 5 times. And then we covered Wicked Pummel. So overall, I'm actually going to give her sub jobs like an A-, right? You run Pugilist for a 3rd damage type. You run her type 2 or number 2 type B sub job for PvE. And you run Samurai for evasion. Boom. She covers all her bases. Let's just go with an A. I think they did a really good job designing this kit, and it makes her really strong. Okay, moving on. Support abilities. Again, a lot of really good ones here. Attack enhancement, you're going to run this on basically every version of her. It's an attack plus defense piercing rate buff. More damage! Her job at the end of the day is to do a lot of damage. This will put her damage through, help put her damage through the roof. Love that skill. Flurry enhancement, I've stayed away from this one. This is that Pugilist one that gives her a 50% chance to proc her double hit punch counter attack. I don't really run that, so I've stayed away from that one. Warrior Spirit, HP and attack buff. This is good for Bruiser 2B. Blade Soul, this is an attack and evasion rate buff necessary for Evasion 2B. And then Auto Absorb Plus, for 5 turns in combat, you get a 30% drain on all the damage you deal. It's fun to play around with. Like, it's pretty interesting for the Bruiser version of her, where she takes some damage, kind of life steals it back, but that it runs out after 5 turns actually kind of sucks. This would be really, really great if it didn't do that. I mostly use attack enhancement with either Blade Soul on Evasion or Warrior Spirit on Bruiser. But this is a great set of abilities and an easy, like, again, A- to A level of stuff right there. So her support ability is really good. Let's go ahead and equip a couple, because I know I'm about to show off some builds. So I'll throw the Bruiser build on there, right here and right here. And you can see that puts her HP to nearly 4,000 and her attack to nearly 763. So that's what you're looking for. Okay, her reaction abilities. This is a very easy A to give because she has really good ones. Now, Flurry counter, that's that double hit punching one that you probably are staying away from, but only because the other ones are so dang good. Okay, Third Eye, if you're running Evade and you don't want to run her best reaction ability, which is Reflex, you can run Third Eye, which has a chance of increasing evasion rate for 3 turns when you take damage, and it stacks up to 3 times. I have obviously not been using this one because I prefer Perfect Evade, which with any physical attack just has a chance of proccing Reflex, right? And if you don't know what Reflex is, it's one of the most triggering reaction abilities in the game besides Aeon Bond. Aeon Bond by far the most triggering. This is really good though. Just 100% chance to dodge any physical based attack, regardless if it's 100% hit or not. Really like this on both Bruiser and Evasion 2B. Easy A. When you have a reaction ability that's a 100% dodge, like a Reflex, that's just an A. Okay, that's it for abilities. Let's look at some builds now and then watch her AI in action and give her that grade for like how her AI actually performs in combat. All right, so we're at the part of the video now where we're going to look at builds and kind of judge her AI at the same time. Now, with 2B, one thing I really like to do is run the Tetrasulfid Vision card on her. Or the Esper, excuse me, because it comes with wind attack up, right? Like, check out all this wind attack you can get on this. And that's good with all of her damage types, because one of her strengths is she carries all those different damage types. You can enhance all of them at the same time by just buffing her wind attack, right? Then Tetrasulfid also really good for Evasion 2B with all the evasion nodes. I mean, look at all this evasion on this Esper. That's insane. Then there's a lot of accuracy on here, so she's good counter evasion. This, in my opinion, is just her best overall Esper. Now, there's other great ones like Odin, stuff like that. Then for vision cards, I think you just almost always run her vision card, right? Really good stat line, 150 attack, 322 HP, luck up. There you go. More evasion. She'll just randomly dodge sometimes, even when not built evasion, if you're not fighting people with a lot of accuracy. More spirit will help her against magic. And then critical damage up. Nice. Okay, when she crits harder. Cool. Then she gets attack up 30% because she's a wind unit. And she gets slash attack resistance piercing rate up 20, plus another 6% agility. Really good for bruiser and evasion versions of her. Just generally speaking, you can put this card on her and she's covered. So I really like that. Now, that's not what we're here to really show off though. We're here to judge her AI. You can see that I'm running her with Pugilist Subjob to give her access to some punching attacks. I have her Bruiser abilities here, Attack Enhancement and Warrior Spirit. And the crucial thing here is I have Resistance Field turned off in this build because I just don't feel like I need it, even though I'm running her with a tank. And instead I'm using Armor Deployment, which will be a physical shield on herself for 3 turns. Plus, I want her to cast Uldoa's TMR to get some AP regeneration and some more defense pin. So let's throw ourselves at an enemy here. Here you see a Titus Yuna King Mont. Now, with Bruiser 2B, you really want her to be opposite a physical damage dealer. Even though you're running her with a tank that can help cover, that will pull aggro off of her in theory, she still might take a damage before the tank's in position or take an AoE attack, something like that. So with her shield as a bruiser, she's much better against physical units. So put her across from one, especially on a map like this, where you basically just go straight at the enemy that you're across from. So really like that. Now, let's pay attention to this, to what's happening here a little bit. She used her shield turn 1. That is a big plus for the AI. You really want your AI or your units that have shields casting them before anything else, because when you're running a bruiser and you need them to kind of protect themselves, that shield is really, really important. Okay, King Mont moving into position, try to do some tanking. Enemy team coming at him, and the enemy also running King Mont here. Now, 2B not going to get to attack this turn. Instead, she goes with her TMR. That's fine. Our Mont is ready to tank, but check it out. 2B gonna catch the energy ray here from Yuna. Big magic attack. What kind of damage is she going to take? A lot. Yuna is somebody who can do a lot of damage to 2B. But because of her shield, because we've built her with HP as a bruiser, she's not killed by the Yuna Mont like combo attacks there. Now, if Titus can find the AoE here, she might have died. But he didn't. Now it's our turn. What can 2B do? Shockwave, massive amounts of damage. Kills the enemy tank who comes back to life. Kills the Yuna. And like we're off to the races here. Now our tank is dead, but you know, we have Yuna, so check out 2B being a bruiser, by the way. That's her 3rd attack that she's tanking, whatever, you get it. So her bruiser build doing bruiser things, just like we wanted here. She's out there, she's taking some hits, she's giving it back harder than she's taking, which is really nice. And now, because we have Yuna, because we have a tank, we have set ourselves up to just sort of sustain through the enemy's barrage right here. Now, here comes the Annihilation Dance. We're going to get to see her limit break here, which is really cool. 5,700 damage onto the Titus. He goes down, and that fight was far from clean, but that was a great highlight of how 2B can do a lot of damage and also take some hits in return. Really like that fight. Now let's show off her evasion build as well. Okay, now kind of for fun here, I've put together sort of a meme evade team. It's Titus, who's sort of an evasion unit, Venera, and 2B. Now, Venera is a legit evasion unit, and I'm running 3 vision cards here, but really, it's all about 2B. Titus is wearing Shiva, Venera is wearing Black Rose of the Battlefield. We just really want to see what 2B can do as an evasion unit. Notice the 101 agility, 436 luck. That's great. We have our Samurai sub-job set, and we actually have all buffs turned off besides illusion, because so much on this map, you might just get to get 1 buff off and then be in the face of the enemy. If we're only getting 1 buff off, we want that to be illusion. Since she's not going to be able to get help from other people because of this map, we're just going to leave that one on, turn everything else off, and go full evasion, right? Now, we also have Blade Soul on for attack and evasion rate up. This is what we're going to try. I actually think it's better to run like tank healer evasion unit, but I just want to do something kind of fun here. We want to stay away from Yuna. Yuna is going to be an important thing for us to dodge. There we go. No Yuna here. We have Titus, King Mont, 2B. A very common team, by the way. You see this team quite a bit. Will we get lucky and dodge a whole bunch of stuff, or will they have enough accuracy? People say a lot right now that evasion is dead because there's so much accuracy in the game. You know, I don't know about that, right? Like, I actually think evasion is not in the worst place ever. We're going to see what we can do. All 3 of our units are evasion units, which is scary, right? If we don't get the RNG, we will lose, and I think that's one thing that people are very scared of. Now, all of our units have over 100 agility in this group. We have a ton of luck, especially 2B has a ton of luck, because she's the one who we have running, she's only caught one with luck up on, so with her own vision card. Now, will we get our first dodge? Here's the enemy 2B's limit break. It's targeting our Venera. She does not dodge it, and she's dead. Alright, well, 0 for 1. King Mont gonna go for Titus. Titus takes the hit, keeps on trucking. Delay Buster returns the damage with a little slow. Enemy Titus casts in haste. Honestly, don't mind if everybody dies but 2B, because this is a 2B video. I want to show off the power of our girl here, and if everybody else dies, so be it. Now, we're beating up the enemy tank, which is wonderful, and now we're starting to beat up the enemy Titus, so we're kind of beating up both enemy tanks. 2B versus 3, baby. This is what we wanted. Can we get the dodges off? Can we pull off the upset? Boom, Titus is dead to an auto attack. Enemy 2B, he in dodge. She slides around it. Enemy Mont, stun blade, dodged it, no big deal. We're gonna Night Veil here, no blind. It would have been really clutch if we'd have landed that blind right there. Up, another dodge on the auto attack. Enemy's gonna have a hard time generating AP if we dodge everything. Now, there's the physical reflex triggering from the enemy. Okay, she doesn't go for hit, she goes for the overclock cast. We're gonna pick up a crystal, stab her in the back, and are we gonna win the 1v3 right here? We might just. King Mont does land the attack. King Mont has a lot of accuracy. Boom, there's Impaler Plus, he's debuffed, there's another auto attack, we're so fast, and there's 2B doing work. Now, would that have been better with 2 like real teammates? Yeah, I could have built a lot but smarter team with like Yuna, King Mont, and just had Evasion 2B. But if you can find the right fights, 2B is an exceptional evasion unit. It's just hard to get her AI set up exactly how you want it to be, and it takes some tweaking. So not the greatest AI as an evasion unit, especially on this map. Anyway, let's go to the last part of the video and talk about her overall score. Okay, I'm going to put her scores on the screen real quick and put her overall score on the screen as well. Overall, I'm going to give 2B a really, really solid 92 out of 100. I know some people are down on this unit, and I think they're just wrong. Like, she is one of the best, what I'm going to call third wheel units in this game. What do I mean by that? I mean, you have Yuna, or a healer, you have King Mont, or a tank, or some combination of those two, and then you need a third unit. I think 2B is one of the best third units that we have in this game. She has status effects, she can run evade, she can run bruiser, kind of take care of herself, she benefits from having a healer in the group, she can do it, she can do the damage, she can do whatever you kind of need is just a plug-in, right? She also functions in a full evasion group. I would suggest not running the stupid one I just did, maybe find like a King Rob, or a like Halloween Little Leela would be a fantastic partner for 2B. Like Halloween Little Leela, King Mont 2B would be an insane evasion group. So something along those lines would be awesome. And then, 92 out of 100. I think if you have her, you can easily build teams around her, or she's a great plug-in to any other team you have, as long as you have her vision card and sword. And yeah, that's what I think. So I hope this video was helpful for some people. If you liked it, drop a thumbs up. Let me know if you disagree with anything, agree with anything, whatever. Leave a comment. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Later.